culture of fear and paranoia turned neighbors against each other, especially in communities where some farmers didn't wish to use Monsanto's herbicide system. One of those farmers was Mike Wallace. See, Mike had a field of soybean here that wasn't resistant to Monsanto's herbicide. But his neighbor, who was also growing soybean, did use Monsanto's system. Now, to be clear, this herbicide wasn't glyphosate itself. It was Monsanto's other herbicide product called dicamba, but it was still packaged in this Roundup and Roundup Ready system. Now, one day, Mike noticed that some of his soybean was dying, and he suspected it was the herbicide from the neighboring farm drifting over, killing his soybean. And he could tell this was the case because the weeds underneath the neighbor's soybean were dying, allegedly because of the herbicide. And he believed this caused him around $100,000 in damages, and the neighbor denied that it was his fault. Now, the tensions between the two farms grew, so Mike wanted to chat with one of the workers from the farm to discuss the situation. They met on a country field road near both farms, and what happened next isn't really clear. Things got sour quickly. Allegedly, Mike grabbed the worker's arm, so the worker pulled back and pulled out his gun, shooting Wallace until the gun was empty.
Similar kinds of tragedies were happening all over the world. Monsanto infiltrated farming communities in India, Argentina, Canada, Brazil, and even Vietnam. By the 2010s, they were an almost untouchable monopoly.
Then, out of the blue, on March 20th, 2015, an independent science panel called the International Agency for Research on Cancer, or IARC, came out with this, a paper saying glyphosate is probably carcinogenic to humans.
The most popular weed killer in the world may cause cancer.
IARC's classification of glyphosate as a probable carcinogen.
Damage to chromosomes and DNA in human cells.
This came as a shock to everyone, especially Monsanto.
They don't know how IARC could reach a conclusion such as this one.
See, other big health organizations like the US Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, and even the World Health Organization, which is actually the parent organization to IARC, both claimed that glyphosate posed no carcinogenic risk to humans and animals.
I think the IARC designation took the public by such huge surprise because Monsanto had really done such a good job for 40 plus years convincing the world that this stuff was safer than table salt.
Monsanto was furious about this ruling, so on the same day they sent a scathing letter to the World Health Organization complaining how this classification needs to be rectified immediately. They claimed IARC chose to disregard dozens of studies and that conclusions on glyphosate must be non-biased, thorough, and based on quality science.